for students wanting to transfer, what is like the very first step they need to take?
The very first step is just if they could connect with us, it's going to be connecting with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it really is just the biggest step is just looking at the timeline.
Yeah.
It's very different at a community college in comparison to a university. Very,
Yeah.
very different. And so I tell students who, for example, are wanting to do fall 2026, January. Well, that's when we need to start. We need to start having
Get
those
it going.
conversations. We need to start
Yeah.
doing applications. We need to start getting things in because the process just takes a lot longer. And one of the things I really try to preach to students is I want to ease your anxiety transferring to UTSA.
Yeah.
It's gonna be it's different, and in order for me to do that, I need you to start early because I don't want you to do not that we can't do everything at the end. We definitely can, but you're gonna feel that stress level, that anxiety a lot more. And
Yeah, that's
so
true.
the more I can get you to do this early, the less stress and anxiety you're gonna have, the more options you're gonna be able to connect with me and really feel comfortable and knowing, okay, what does this mean when you get an email? Like, I've had students do that. Every time they get an email, can I go meet with you? Okay, let's review it. And that's okay. That's what we want them to do, right? And so making sure I alleviate that is really important to me and our team, and making sure that we help our students. So the biggest thing is starting early, doing those applications early, because that's the part that takes the longest, is
Yeah,
just that portion of it.
I definitely agree because like I have friends that are like in the transfer process and they started so late. They started like maybe right after May.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? Like you don't know like, cause like when I did it, that was like years ago. I think like I transferred or I did it early. I remember I got to like register super early.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's ease, and I'm the type to like over prepare than not prepare, like do it last minute, because it's like, okay, like I rather, like you said, be stress free. You know,
Yeah.
everything goes smoothly, and if there's like a bump on the road, there's time.
There's time to fix
Yeah.
it.
So and and transferring is a multi-step process. Um, do you think that most people like realize that, or they think it's like boom?
They
let
think
me
it's
send-
boom. They think
Oh,
it's
really?
boom. Yeah,
Really?
they think it's I did it yesterday. What's my answer today? And it's unfortunately not that fast, right? So
Yeah.
it's a multi-step process. It's an application, it's application fee, it's transcripts from every college
Yeah.
and university, including if they had dual credit high school courses, we need those. If they took an on-ramps class at UT Austin, we need those.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, wow.
it's literally everything, getting all of that in first, and then once it's complete, that's when admission starts looking at that.
Yeah.
So, that process by itself can take a month by itself
Wow.
without even getting to the admissions and, hey, decision part of it, which takes another 2 or 3 weeks during non-peak times. So it takes time. And so we definitely want students to understand that. And then, just definitions, how we calculate transfer GPA for the requirements is one way. Then it's not a commutative. It's not any of that. So making sure students understand that, because that may impact what their GPA is coming in, and what that does as far as requirements go. And so it is a process, and that's why we want them to connect with us as early as possible.
Yeah. And like credits, like you said, is like it takes a while,
And credits are really important, because the big question everybody says, does everything transfer? And the more
Yeah.
important question is, does everything apply?
Yeah.
Because you can
And-
transfer courses, but it might not apply to your program,
Yeah.
right? And we want them to do both. And so that's why we want them to connect with us, because we want to be able to have those guides for them. For our students that are out of San Antonio, we can make personalized plans for them and let
Yeah.
them know, like, this is what you would take at your specific school. And that's important, so that way they can stay on time while they're
Yeah.
graduating.
And like, are there any resources of how they will know those credits will like apply?
Yeah.
Like I remember, I think there was like a website.
There
I don't-
is.
Please
So
tell
there's
us about
there's
it.
2 different websites. So the first one is going to be within our website. We have our transfer credit calculator, and all they have to do is enter. They have to enter information. It's a little bit tedious and them having to enter
Yeah.
information, but it really just gives them a good idea. So they enter their courses, they enter their grades, they enter when they took it, and they enter the program they're wanting to study at UTSA, and then we'll tell them exactly how it applies to that program. I I would say it's not 100%, but it's fairly accurate. And if they have any questions, that's where we can clarify those other items. And then the next one is our Texas Common Course numbering system. One of the things about Texas is that we have a common course numbering system that all the public institutions have to follow. It's a unique thing to certain states, and Texas is one of them. Not every state has that.
Wow.
And so it makes it really easy for a student who is transferring within Texas, if they've done the academic core, for us to accept it. And that website, the Texas Common Course numbering system website, and that's what it is. It's just Google that, or and they can look and they can literally compare SAC to UTSA, or it can be Dallas College to UTSA, and they can look at all the classes that will transfer right away from that partnership, as an initial, just kind of getting an idea what those are. So those resources are really, really important. And the state of Texas is also looking at having an overall Texas calculator and having that for our students. Hopefully it's going to be up soon, and getting that for our students, for anybody. It's a little bit different when it comes to out of state, unfortunately. Like I said, out of state students don't necessarily have those common kind of course stuff. So we have to look at their information individually by course.